Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. And for this particular video, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know the specific constituency you are watching us from. William Ruto today led a strong team of Kenya Kwanza in storming Mount Kenya. William Ruto and his team are expected in Mount Kenya for 5 good days. In this particular video, I want us to do an analysis of William Ruto's first day in Mount Kenya, because from that first day, we'll be able to gauge the reaction of the mountain, we'll be able to gauge William Ruto's strategy, and of course, we'll be able to know the expectation of the mountain and even be able to know the reception.
Tumewaambia ile vitisho walikuwa naye ati ndio wapate serikali nusu mkate haitafanyika tena. Haiwezekani. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Na hawa watu nitawakalia ngumu.
Na rais hapa, watu hapa Mlima Kenya walikuchagua wewe na wakakupatia kura zao zote. Wamesema kwa kauli moja mambo ya handshake hawataki. Mumekataa handshake. Wangapi wanasema hakuna handshake, hakuna handshake, hakuna handshake? Rais wetu, wewe ni mchapakazi. Tulikuchagua kwa sababu tunakuamini, kwa sababu uko na mpango na uko na maono ya kubadilisha maisha yao watu ya kawaida. Na kwa hivyo watu ya Githurai, nyinyi nauliza nyinyi kwa heshima, tumuunge huyu rais wetu mkono, tushikane, tukuwe na mapenzi na watu ya hapa Mlima Kenya, tuunge huyu rais wetu mkono kuanzia leo 2027 mpaka huko mbele. Tumekubaliana?
Now that is William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, setting pace for the mountain. Let us begin this video by looking at the reception. How was William Ruto received in Mount Kenya? Because for the past few weeks or months, we've seen William Ruto's reception not really what it used to be before. But for today, from the photos I'm seeing, it is clear that William Ruto was received well. But there are people who have a different opinion. Let me just read for you a post here, a Facebook post by a gentleman called Fatanyuki. This is what he's posting, that Ruto consumes intelligence firsthand, and he knows that the mountain is sliding away from him as he destroys the economy. No wonder he hired a whole battalion of Boda Boda riders to swell the crowd in every stop he makes in Central. When the mountain decides to move, it moves slowly but sure, without looking back. And the guy is actually attaching a photo of Boda Boda riders escorting William Ruto out of Nairobi straight to Githunguri. Straight to Githurai, where the rally began. And this crowd here is so huge. If you can move this crowd to the next stage, to the next stage, to the next stage, then automatically you'll have a bigger crowd. And again, let me also take you to something which Nani has posted, Kabando wa Kabando. This is what Kabando wa Kabando is posting. Exactly 1 year into office, William Ruto is still hoodwinking and mesmerizing residents of Mount Kenya with slogans against Kitendawili. Mr. President, the few in those crowd you see cheering you were yesterday and this morning bribed with government of Kenya relief food and cash handout. Tekwege. Mr. President, what Mount Kenya region, as indeed all other regions of Kenya, need is statesmanship from you and government services. Stories about Uhuru and Raila is not what you are elected to do. We recognize you, even as your presidency is replete with disdain, ranting, and lamentation. So basically, there are people who believe that the crowd we saw there are actually those hired crowd. And William Ruto is so good at doing that. For example, when William Ruto came to Kisumu here, the crowd that received him, you would imagine that Raila had lost. But when the actual vote came, Ruto did not even get 100 votes in Kisumu here. So that's William Ruto. So probably they did that with the purpose. But what about the tone of the visit? Again, the tone you can always gauge from the speakers. You could gauge the tone from the speech by Ndindi Nyoro, William Ruto himself, Rigathi Gachagua, everybody who was there, you could gauge the tone of the rally.
Niwaulize swali, mwambie rais wetu. Nyinyi kama watu wa Kagio na Mount Kenya, mnataka handshake? Wenye hawataki mkono juu. Nyinyi kama watu wa Kagio, mnaapia rais hiyo maneno ya dialogue awachane nayo kabisa. Hata nione kwa mkono. So in retrospect tunasema no handshake, na hata hiyo maneno ya dialogue sisi tunataka ikwishe, tuendelee kutumikia wa Kenya. Asanteni sana.
Now let us get into William Ruto's strategy for Mount Kenya, his 5-day visit. But before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And without any further ado, let us dive in. But before we do that, also allow me to thank the following people for sending me coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so grateful I received it. And you can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is William Ruto's strategy for the mountain? Or what is his objective? The objective of the 5-day visit. Number one, I want to go straight. Number one, William Ruto is keen on erasing Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy in the mountain. Most people were mocking William Ruto. But William Ruto knows what he's doing. That he went to the mountain to launch Uhuru Kenyatta's projects. If you go to Twitter, actually, Uhuru Delivers was trending at number 1. That's that. William Ruto went, he launched several projects which had already been launched previously by Uhuru Kenyatta. For example, there is this road which is which they are launching, this famous road which people are sharing, the road in Madeira, which is from Maroa to Sagana State Lodge in Madeira constituency, which was completed in February 2021. For the last 2 years, people have been using it. So William Ruto went to launch it. But that's not the most important thing. Ruto has a clear strategy on what he wants to achieve. You see, you are saying that Uhuru Kenyatta launched that road, which is okay. Uhuru launched it. You are saying that he also launched something in Githurai hospital. Was it something? Let me just hold on. Yes, William Ruto went to Githurai to launch a market which Uhuru Kenyatta initiated, constructed, and delivered. Kenyans are mocking William Ruto that is launching projects which Uhuru had launched. But that is not William Ruto's intention. William Ruto's intention in the mountain is to erase Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. He told the mountain for 5 years that Uhuru Kenyatta did nothing. So there are projects which Uhuru Kenyatta did, and Uhuru never launched them. Uhuru just did them. They were opened, maybe an MCA somewhere. Ruto is now doing those jobs. And he's replacing, like if you are a president and there is a market, Githurai or what, Githurai market, then there's a plague there. This market was officially launched by William Ruto. In 10 years, you will not convince anybody who was not there to witness that this project was not launched by William Ruto. So basically, William Ruto is trying to erase any project which Uhuru Kenyatta did in the mountain. So unless the people of the mountain will be like the people of Nyanza who rejected those attempts to relaunch projects, William Ruto will succeed in erasing any project which Uhuru Kenyatta actually launched. In fact, even tomorrow, he's going to launch projects which Uhuru Kenyatta had launched. But the purpose is not really to relaunch them. The purpose is to erase Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. I'm sure there are some gullible Kenyans from those regions who attended those meetings and were wowed by how fast William Ruto brought those projects. So that is first intention. Number two, William Ruto's visit to the mountain is also clearly about creating Raila Odinga phobia. Raila Odinga phobia is what unites the mountain. Maybe William Ruto has received intelligence that Raila will still be on the ballot. Maybe his intelligence has told him that from all these Azimio things, the only credible candidate is Raila Odinga. And that's why I always insist that sometimes a change is as good as a rest. Let Azimio front another person. Before William Ruto goes ahead, because William Ruto will go ahead and brand that individual as a project. And that's why I pity Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. He's clueless. Kalonzo Musyoka has the opportunity. You are surprised that today Kalonzo was nowhere, tomorrow he will be nowhere, the next day will be nowhere. You expect Raila Odinga. You know, it doesn't work like that. Lazima ujitume. But William Ruto is out to create Raila phobia in the mountain. That's the fact. Number three, William Ruto, in my view, is also out to create the momentum for 2027. How do you create the momentum? You go to your stronghold, which is Mount Kenya, because let's face it, William Ruto got 2.9 million votes from the mountain. In his backyard of Rift Valley, William Ruto only got 1.6. So which means you remove Mount Kenya from Ruto, he's a nobody. So if Mount Kenya was showing signs of sliding, it means he has to go there. And he has to create a momentum. How do you create a momentum? Hire 5,000 borders, move with them from market to market. Share photos that you are received so hugely. So that's exactly what he's trying to do, create the momentum. William Ruto is creating momentum for 2027. And this is why tomorrow would be important. Tomorrow, William Ruto will be at Sagana State Lodge, where he's expected to open the door for hustlers to get in and eat. Because he's trying to create the momentum. Number four, in my view, Ruto is also out once again to install himself as the Mount Kenya kingpin. That's the fact. Uhuru is no longer the president. Rigathi Gachagua is the deputy president. Previously, when Uhuru was the president, the argument was that Uhuru was the kingpin. Right now, William Ruto is in the mountain, but who is the kingpin? It's him. Everybody is praising him. Everybody is swearing allegiance to him. Ndindi Nyoro with William Ruto's billboard in the mountain. I'm sure tomorrow you'll expect others also with their billboards in the mountain. Basically, telling everybody that William Ruto is the kingpin of the mountain. And by that, they are doing away with Uhuru Kenyatta. And lastly, if you ask me, all these are intended to gauge the ground. What is the ground saying? Because William Ruto at some point was scared when there was a kind of rebellion. Rebellion has started building in the mountain. But he got a good opportunity to reinvent himself. When Raila Odinga decided to make a comeback to the politics, started those handshake stories which the mountain don't want. So William Ruto is now gauging the ground. How is the ground as far as the handshake is concerned? How is the ground as far as my popularity is concerned? How is the ground as far as Uhuru Kenyatta is concerned? And I want to ask you a question. Today they were in the mountain. Was Uhuru Kenyatta abused or attacked? Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.